afternoon, Madison. My name is Riley Yauk, and this is your SportsCenter update, brought to you by the new ESPN Wisconsin app. Listen live and on demand to all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin shows at the touch of a fingertip. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. Download the all-new ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple and Android app stores today. The speculation and mystery has concluded as last night the 2025 NFL schedule was released. Some highlights for the Green Bay Packers include facing the Lions to open the season and at noon on Thanksgiving, hosting the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles on Monday Night Football in Week 10, and facing the Bears in Chicago the Saturday before Christmas in Week 16. The Packers over-under on wins for the season is 9.5, according to ESPN Bet. The Brewers are off today before starting a series with the Red Hot Twins tomorrow, but we're still in the news as former Brewer Vinny Capra was picked up by the White Sox earlier today, and the crew announced a 25 years at American Family Field celebration that will take place on July 25th with 25 former Brewers.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on
right.
Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
We're learning a lot about each other.
What is that called? He made chicken soup out of chicken poop? No?
Hey, Josh, welcome to your dream, bro. Here's the deal. The schedule is missing, and you need to find it.
What is it?
Chicken salad out of the chicken.
Yeah. Chicken soup out of chicken poop sounds better.
Can you help me find it? Oh, there it is. Oh, wait. I think this is what you're looking for.
Cringe.
Hey, what the hell is going on out there? Get the F off of our
Broadcasting
field.
live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
Get the F off our field. Mark Murphy also said in the Packers release schedule, that is the last F I have to give. Waka waka.
Okay.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. If the Mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
I am Jim Rutledge. I have the power in the Everlight Solar Studio. We are safe and secure. Hopefully, if you're out and about, I know I'm anti-big weather, but it's close now. Like, there's no ambiguity.
Jim, you're being an alarmist.
You're pretty big weather today.
Well,
Big weather energy.
I would say this, with big weather energy, it does look like, I think we're going to dodge a bullet and it's going to go north. I think it's going to still stay a little
We're
bit
gonna
north
have
of
a
us.
cell. It looks like
Knock
it's
on
going to
wood.
miss us just to the south, too.
Okay, so I think we're getting
It's
some.
like weirdly like just popping up over like the corner of Iowa and coming into Wisconsin.
Yeah, so that's our weather report, but stay safe out there. Could be hail.
Stay tuned for more weather reports.
Could be thunderstorms.
Your meteorologist,
Could be
Matthew Hamilton.
Tornado. It's the tornado one that kills me because they fire off tornado sirens and we live close to one. Now if there's like, it could be in the same county, but that could be 20 miles away.
Whenever I hear the tornado siren, it literally makes my stomach churn.
Same. But then like, because it used to mean it's like, it's on you. Like, get your ass downstairs. Now it's like, hey.
It's in the county.
It's in Dane County. Well, if it's in DeForest and I live in Oregon, what the hell does that matter to me?
Because they can pop
What the
up.
hell is going on out there?
Because they can pop up.
But that's far away, man.
Well, yeah, no, that tornado might not hit you, but I think the likelihood of another tornado popping up is
but they changed
greater
the
when
rules.
there's one happening.
Only the warnings only happen when they touch the ground. Now if it's
Like a funnel
likely
cloud?
it's going to happen. Yeah, if it even starts to form, even if it doesn't hit all the ground, they start firing it off.
Okay, I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong here, but I also...
I'm not saying that like they're doing it to like that part for ratings, but it scares the bejesus out of it.
Yeah.
Well,
Big basement's in on this.
No, but that's my whole thing on the weather is that they clearly bogart a lot of the time to be able, and again, the marketing side of it, to make deliverables. Like if you are...
This tornado brought to you by...
You know who the number one advertiser on Weather Channel is? Home Depot.
Oh,
and
yeah.
generators.
That's right.
that makes sense.
Get your Generac
Good marketing.
To get my theory correct on weather, it is not the meteorologists. They are real and they are passionate, and the weather science is real. I don't have any problem with that. It is
the sellouts that are peddling
it's
merch.
the way that it is. Look, there's a certain type of political talk that tries to scare the bejesus out of you, and then they start selling you security systems and gold during commercial breaks. Like that. It's so like that's the stuff where it's like they are going to sell. I know you can't sell specifically in storm coverage, but they sell so much around the wraparound coverage of storm coverage, and then it feels a little bit sensationalized.
Security systems in gold. Weird.
Yeah, definitely weird, especially on those stations. All right. So the schedule came out yesterday, and I want to spend like 2 seconds on this. We'll actually throw this one up at Jim, Matt, and Molly. You can get into the show, 844-770-3776 on the Carbless Talk and Text line. Less is more. Our first Siding Unlimited poll question, I want to ask, we'll post this one to Jim, Matt, and Molly. I just want a yay or a nay on the schedule release videos from teams. The social media schedule release, not specifically that, just in general.
For all 32?
Just do you like it or you don't?
Yes.
Or do you want to make it about the Packers? The Packers seems like a universal nay, like it stunk.
I don't know. See,
There's two
some
inside
people
baseball.
liked it.
I have not. I sent you guys two. I just pulled the top 2 ratings. They were in the bottom, like they were like 28th.
I'm not saying I liked it. I only understood like 2 of the things
Some
that they
people
did.
like a lot of things. I think universally it's panned as like bottom tier, which is fine.
Which I'm fine with
So
that.
that's why I just want to
That
ask
was
the
the best
question:
part.
do you like these or do you not? I think I just want to ask you like
They're
that.
great.
844-770-3776. It's Carl's Talk Text Line. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream, and you can stream us on the new ESPN Wisconsin app.
You guys make me look very, very white on this.
We are.
No, you make me look
But, like,
very
why,
white.
Why are we making you look very white?
Because you guys both look incredibly darker than me. Like, I don't know if it's the lighting, if I have like an LED light shining down on me, or if you guys actually just have color because you go out in the sun and I over sunscreen myself. I don't know.
I think it's that.
Oh my
I've been doing
God.
a lot of yard work basically from like the middle of last week through today, and a little bit more tomorrow. Got Rosie's birthday party coming up this weekend. You got to make sure the house looks nice and people are coming over.
Gotta get that base tan for the birthday.
I thought he was
No.
That's what I immediately turned my head with.
I did too. Like he's getting ready to go to Mexico.
If I'm gonna wear my jorts and my cutoff t-shirt, I need.
Look, you can see this here. I'll let you show
Muscles
it.
brought to you by Carver World Health.
Yes, they are. But you can see the red line of. I'm not trying to establish a base tan.
Are you flexing
No,
as your?
I'm literally just put my arm down.
You
but
can
that's
tell
my,
Rutledge that.
That is my farmer's tan there.
Okay,
so
there you go. Well, I do not have one because I swear to God, I'm not that white as I am on the video stream in real life.
I've brought this up before. There's no good way. The lighting in here is horrible, and so in the summer in the winter we all look like ghosts.
Fair. That's fair. That's true.
And I've tried to like knock it down like 1 to be like a little bit darker in here, but then it looks a little too intimate. So it's like maybe we just show by candlelight. I don't know. Put some tint on the light. It's not like if we're trying to get into podcast, we're trying to get into video podcasting and people are streaming stuff more. I just learned the other day that people consume YouTube as their number one. That is the most watched network for podcast, more than Spotify or Apple. And like not watch, just listen to. So the more people watch podcasts on YouTube than they listen to them on Spotify or Apple, which blows my mind because if I'm listening to a podcast, I'm getting my base tan set. Like, I'm mowing the lawn.
Okay.
I'm emptying out. I'm filling up the mulch. I am weed whacking. I am power washing. I'm getting the camper ready. And I got the podcast in. But apparently everyone else just sits around and has the podcast on the back of their TV or their phone.
I think it's probably oftentimes running at their computer as well.
I guess that's what I
and
hear.
if you're paying for YouTube, like...
But no, you don't. It's free. Like, you can watch...
Like normal YouTube.
I know, but then if say you're paying for YouTube TV or something like that, you probably have YouTube or some sort of like package deal. Like, why wouldn't you use it?
JJ Inponette chimes in. It's passing to the north, talking about the storm, and he said, back with you guys. I've been doing a lot of Lyft driving in Milwaukee, so my only option for 4 to 5 is those Yahoos on KBN. So we're happy that you're back with us, JJ.
Again,
JJ,
you can always stream us on the YouTube feed if you're out of our market.
Or just stream us on the ESPN Wisconsin app because it works in Apple CarPlay and you can just fire it up. Yeah. And then you can just you don't have to worry about the radio signal. Mm-hmm. Little hack there for those who can't listen. So that was the first one. So Molly, we got you like the schedule release stuff.
I think they're great.
I think they're great. I think like everything else, there's some really bad ones. There's some ones that like there's nobody around to just take a one look at this and be like, hey, couple of these things cross the line. Colts. Because, like, the Chargers, again, they crushed it, and they are elite at it. And I would imagine at this point, like, that's the social media team if you're coming out of college where it's like, I want to go work for the Chargers social media team in the NFL. And, like, look, I think some of these videos could be like you're trying to recruit people, and if you put up better videos, then you get higher-level people wanting to come in and work on these videos. So, like, all of that I find interesting. The Chargers did a great job of...
The Cardinals did a great job.
Yes.
Theirs was good.
Yes, but they threw a lot of shade. The Chargers did, but also in a more, like, acceptable way. In the NFC North, the Packers look pretty bad. I saw the line. I haven't seen the Lions, but they got a lot of bad.
What the hell is going on out there?
We got a lot
That
of
was
bad.
the only good part.
Got a lot of bad grades too. The Lions won. Minnesota seemed more mixed.
I like Minnesota's. Theirs was cool.
Again, I didn't see it. And Chicago's was fine. Like they use what's in their repertoire. They have star power. So they got 2 guys from the New Girl, and then they use some of their players, which is always fun. Caleb was in it, and Cole Kmet and others. So
how was the acting of the players from the Bears? Was it better than the Packers? Rashawn Gary?
I think this is what you're looking at.
Rashawn Gary was really bad. So, yes, they all did better than Rashawn Gary, but I don't know if any of them are going to be
that's
future
because
stars.
he's too used to putting
But they're also asking him,
Can
like,
you help me find it?
when Caleb and Rome did their little bit, they asked the kid. So the whole bit in theirs was that they accidentally emailed the schedule out to every Ben Johnson on the Bears email list. So then they were finding all these people with the name Ben Johnson. They ran into a kid whose name is Ben Johnson, and they're just like negotiating with him how to get his phone. And they're like, all right, so we just have to give you this, this, and this. So it wasn't really acting. Let's just talking to a kid. You know, like,
there it
with
is.
Sean Gary, I guess, had to do a little bit of acting with it. So there's that. So, Molly, I'm sorry. Heads, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs up. I like the schedule releases. However, I do not like the ones that are, 12 minutes long, like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I got through the first 2 minutes, and I was like, I'm good. There was a couple that were, like, slow. Like the Eagles one, it was literally the Lombardi Trophy, which props to you. You should show that off. You won the Super Bowl. Yeah. Absolutely. But it was like such a slow, and it was the song of the we were talking about the other day. The Brewers opening the roof song.
Oh, 2001: A Space Odyssey song?
Yes, it was that song as they
That's
showed.
not the real name of it.
We can't say the real name. We don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, we literally just can't say it. It's German.
Yeah, we sound like Matt
oh
Hamilton.
My God.
Yeah, I was very distracted. There's a lot of hail happening.
The world is ending now. Is that hail?
That's hail. It was stronger just a second ago.
I am happy that my big blue truck from Cinnamon Chevy in Mount Horeb is parked inside of the parking garage here.
Yes,
but I'm already might need a new roof, so if they just want to finish it off and confirm that my insurance company will pay more for it, have at it.
I knew this was the day I shouldn't have parked on the top level.
You did not. You always get like a prime spot because you get here at the time that everybody leaves work.
So you're thumbs up on the videos then too?
Yeah, I'm thumbs up on them. I haven't watched all of them, but I'll get there.
So that poll question will be up at the Siding Unlimited. Or that's our Siding Unlimited poll question to be posted up at Jim, Matt, and Molly. So we're going to set up another one here. We are going to play the schedule game here. And it's going to be a little different. We're not going to be doing the the wins and losses. I don't want to do that. What I want to do is what games we'll start. Do we want to go with least excited with first, or how do we want to start this?
I mean, we could kind of do like Tinder time with it, couldn't we?
Well, no, we want to create a list because we're going to try to do our 4. So we're going to go least excited to most excited Packer game.
So a little bit of context I can provide first of all. We have 6 nationally broadcast games for the Green Bay Packers as of right now. Obviously, I think it's after Week 10 you can start fluxing games back into those primetime national spotlight game spots. No, technically they only have 4 actual primetime games. Those are Week 2 versus the Commanders, Thursday Night Football, Week 4 at the Cowboys, Sunday Night Football. Then you go Week 8, Steelers, Sunday Night Football, and then Week 10, rematch against the Philadelphia Eagles on Monday Night Football, that game on ESPN and ABC. And then on top of that, the Packers also have the Lions on Thanksgiving and the Bears on Fox's Saturday doubleheader in Week 14. But neither of those games are considered primetime because they're just quite literally not at like nighttime primetime spots. But they are standalone games. So those are probably, of the ones we're talking about, you're going to be most excited for. And imagine those 6 all fall in that bucket.
Yeah, so I would say let's eliminate we'll just do it like this. We'll do one divisional game. So what divisional game, obviously, opponent, we're kind of mostly focused on opponent here. What divisional opponent are you most excited to see?
I am most excited for Week 1.
Forget the week. Just
okay. Well, against the Lions.
So you want the Lions as a team?
The first game of the season. I guess I'm excited for both the Lions games because I think first game of the season against different coordinators this year, and then 2 Thanksgiving. Yeah. Watching the Packers play on Thanksgiving, I'm excited for it.
So Matt, are you on the Lions too, or are you not?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so Lions will be our one Division 1. That way we don't have to do a ton of Division 1. So Lions, and we can go with just Lions in general. We'll just go both games there. All right. So
I'm kind of curious to see, are you more excited for the Week 1 opener or Thanksgiving? I think that's an interesting question.
All right, 844-770-3776. Which one should we put on the list? We won't pull this one out on the Sliding Limited poll question. Well, you can answer it now on the Carbos Talking text line, 844-770-3776. Molly, right now, where's your vote, though?
I would say week 1 because I'm more hopeful that the Packers can get it done there.
Definitely week 1. I don't want the holiday.
All righty. So, all right.
Stop with my holiday football games.
You tell me, we'll do a little Tinder time here. You tell me if we want to move these on to the next round as far as being possible games you're going to be excited about. Washington Commanders.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. At Browns.
No.
Nah.
At Cowboys.
No.
There's always a juice there because you know you're going to murder them.
Again, we're just talking about moving on to the next round. It's not for sure on the list.
That's fine.
Okay. And then we got Cincinnati at Lambeau.
No.
Joe
When we have Trey
I'm kind of
Hendrickson.
into that one.
When we have Trey Hendrickson on
Coming
our
off
team.
the bye for the Packers as well. A week 5 bye for the Packers.
I think I
Ew.
like
Hate
that
that.
one.
Okay, we're just moving on right now. We're just trying to keep it tight right now. All righty. Just like Matt LaFleur at Cardinals.
No.
I mean, I'm biased.
Yeah, you're biased.
We can put it on there. Okay. Then we got at Steelers.
There's a big if. Like, if Aaron Rodgers is playing, super interested.
Look, the
if
league,
he's
the
not,
league is counting on him playing.
Rodgers is playing for the Steelers.
okay, then yeah,
Bet.
that one's intriguing.
All right, Carolina, no.
No.
Philadelphia at Lambeau.
No, I'm not, because I think that's an auto L. I'm
We gotta
not
write it
excited
down.
for
I'm
it
somewhere
at
in the
all.
middle.
We got to write it down. All right, at the Giants, no.
No.
Minnesota, we already took off the Minnesota, Detroit, Chicago. None of those teams. Well, we already did the one Detroit game. At Denver.
No.
No, because Packers are going to lose.
Whoa.
They are.
Oh.
What?
Ravens. Then the last one here would be Ravens at Lambeau.
That one's kind of
I
exciting.
do like that.
Okay. Alrighty. So now we have 4
You
more
really
slots.
think the Packers? We'll get into this later. I need to calm down.
I think you're overestimating the Packers. I wonder what's
I'm
the
all
over/under for the
riled up.
Broncos, because the Packers over/under is 9.5. I'm guessing
True,
the
I
Broncos
think he's
are right
more
there.
he's more pushing back about it being an auto loss.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So now we
Sorry.
have 1, 2, 3.
No, you're
4.
not.
We have 7 teams left, and we got 4 spots left. So you each get to eliminate one. Washington at Cowboys, Cincinnati at I don't even know what that one is. At Steelers, Philly, and Ravens.
Oh,
and,
Arizona was on there. I think you can take
Cardinals.
off Cowboys and Zona.
well, no. So you're taking Matt. Do you
No,
want
if she wants to pick those two, I like that.
No, I said
because-
I think you can take them off.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll say you each got to pick one. So to take off, I figured you'd take Cowboys. She'd take Carolina.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
out on the Cowboys.
All right, so those 2 are off. Now we're down to Washington home, Cincy home, at Steelers, Philly, Ravens. That's 5 for 4 spots left.
I could be cool with getting rid of Burrow just because the Week 17 at Lambeau, potentially snow against the Ravens, and is more intriguing to me than the Bengals, who have no defense and superstar offense.
Same.
All right, so now we got those 4. So now you got the Lions, Commanders, at the Steelers, home Philly, home Ravens. Where are you putting those?
I don't like the Philly one at all.
Well, they're in there here now, so where do you want them?
I would say out. Auto L.
They're already in. We eliminated down to this process.
I
No,
think
so,
it's-
you're saying like should we rank them for like
Yes.
most excited to least excited?
Bottom of the barrel.
Alrighty,
So you're
so
least excited for that
Least
one.
excited for the Philly one.
alrighty.
Steelers or Lions number 1?
Steelers is number 1. Aaron Rodgers, Packers.
Okay, I can agree there.
That's
Okay.
too good.
Steelers, Lions,
I
Ravens,
watched-
Eagles. I think that's our lineup.
I'm sorry, Steelers, Lions.
Ravens,
Yeah,
Eagles.
Eagles, Philly. So put
You're missing-
Ravens there.
that's
and you're
all-
good.
you're missing
That's
one.
4.
Nope, we said 4.
Oh, we said
Steelers,
4. All right, then
Lions.
Philly's out. I was doing top 5. I'm sorry, I thought we were doing top 5. So then Philly's out, Commanders.
Well, I don't like. Yeah. Okay. The
I'm
Commanders
going
is
to
good.
write the Commanders in there because then you can see what a real quarterback does on a rookie deal, and like and all that kind of, the wins you can do. All right. All right.
Didn't you hate when people compared Caleb Williams to Daniels last year?
No.
Because
yes, he
I
did.
feel like
Yes, he
he
did.
fought this. He was like, Jaden Daniels is not that good.
I never said he was not that good.
Eh,
If anything, I would have said he's in a
ba-
better.
ba-
Beforehand, yes, you're right. Before the season started, but once the season started, I'm not an idiot. I can't sit there and lie and say he's not any good. I did not think he was going to be good, but he is clearly really good.
So what are the
Okay.
5 games we have left?
At Steelers, Lions, Ravens, Commanders. That's 4. So we're down to 4. I wiped off Philly.
Okay, and let's pick one of the 2 Lions games now.
We did week 1.
Yeah,
We're doing week 1, not Thanksgiving?
They
I don't
both won
want
at week 1.
Thanksgiving.
Oh my gosh, Matt. Matt is so against the Packers playing on a
Besides,
holiday.
week 1 is it's at home.
Yeah.
I like that a lot more. That's more intriguing than the away game on Thanksgiving where I'm going to have to watch on like half mute. I'm going to be distracted by the rest of my family. Week 1, everyone's dialed in for Packer football.
Don't they know it's your job to watch Packer games or no?
No, I mean, I pull that card, and I will, but they're still going to distract me.
Gotcha, okay.
All right, so
I'm easily distracted.
our siding on the poll question that we came up with off the schedule, and we're going to play the schedule game and put the record on the Packers next, but we have at Steelers, Lions week 1, Ravens and Commanders, both at Lambeau. Those are our top 4 games that we're most excited about off the Packers schedule release. You can chime in 844-770-3776 on the Carbons Talking text line. List is more. Which one of those are you most excited about? You can, if you're calling in or texting in, you can tell us about a different one that you're more excited about. And then also, we're going to post that at Jim, Matt, and Molly. Let me tell you about our good friends at J&K Security Solutions. Over 35 years, J&K has been Madison's trusted name in security. Whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, they're your one-stop shop for all things security, from cutting-edge intercom systems for your office to simply replacing that old lock on your front door. They've got you covered. With a network of top-tier suppliers, they create customized solutions tailored just for you. At J&K, customer service is their top priority, and your peace of mind is always their mission. Visit them today at jksecurity.com and experience the J&K difference. Your home, your business, their priority. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Like, winning teams could talk trash.
Yeah, but
Giannis talks trash.
Maybe we're not good enough to be talking trash.
Or maybe it's not your personality.
It's not tight. I'm not tight.
Yeah, I'm not tight either.
I'm not tight at all. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
It's not tight. I'm not tight.
Ben Johnson?
I'm so loose right now.
We don't know. I don't know who he is. I have no idea what he is.
I'm not tight.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Ready to live the high life at home? Miller High Life is giving one lucky winner the ultimate backyard dive bar experience. It's a cabana complete with classic bar vibes, neon lights, and of course, plenty of High Life. To enter, just order a Miller High Life at any participating dive bars in the
dealer today.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
It started with a prediction.
Go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6. It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a must-play every golf season. Wild Rock Golf features championship golf in the heart of Wisconsin. Wild Rock, a Herdston Fry masterpiece that's cut from the natural beauty of the Wisconsin Dells and offers stunning views from elevated tee boxes. Wild Rock presents spectacular greens that roll fast and true. Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a unique gem that offers a challenge to avid golfers of all abilities. Book your tee time today for this must-play at wildrockgolf.com, wildrockgolf.com.
People travel the world to collect Hard Rock shirts, and Hard Rock Casino Rockford is going to give the people what they want. Get in on the action at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, where all new Unity card signups receive an official Hard Rock shirt. plus free play to kickstart a winning streak. Whether you're spinning the slots or playing the tables, you'll be dressed for success. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's Hard Rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987. Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
No sleep till.
Jim, Matt, Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown. Primetime or shine behind the glass. You can get into the show, 844-770-3776. That's the Carlos Talking text line. List is more. We have 2 Siding Unlimited poll questions posted. We have one at Jim, Matt, and Molly, which we are asking you just a thumbs up, thumbs down. Do you like the schedule release videos right now? 67% of you say yeah, it's appointment viewing. So 33% of you say no. And then we also have another question out there. Which game on the Packers 2025 schedule are you most excited for? 60% of you say at the Steelers Week 8, followed by the Lions and Ravens. Nobody so far for the Commanders.
Yeah, I mean, this is the way we voted, and this is how I expect it to go. I hope the Packer fans vote it in this gradient: Steelers first, Lions second, Ravens because that's how we ranked them, right?
Yeah. All right, I want to get into the actual.
Can I just say it is a coward move by Matt Hamilton to just completely push off the Eagles because he's afraid of losing to them.
Facts.
I mean, come on, Matt.
Who would you have bumped out? But the Commanders have Jaden Daniels.
The Ravens, I think
I would have bumped the Ravens out.
Eagles are a bigger deal. That's a bigger game for the Packers than the Ravens.
It's a bigger game. I don't deny that.
But
I'm not denying that.
I lean with Matt.
This was asked about what are you excited for? Yeah. I am not excited to play the defending Super Bowl champions, the best team in the NFL, at any point.
Hosting them on Monday Night Football, Week 10? What if both teams have 3 combined losses at that point? You wouldn't be excited?
Oh, so you got mad at me for automatically taking the L against the Broncos, but you're automatically taking the Eagles L.
That's
crap.
Fair. That's a Super Bowl team.
This one's at home.
That's a Super Bowl team.
Okay, to me, there is a greater chance that the Packers could beat the Eagles than there is of beating the Broncos in Denver. 100%.
Can we pull that? Because that is crazy. That's Looney Tunes talk.
The Packers could have. If the Packers would have had
we have 2 posted back to back.
Is that not Looney Tunes?
If the Packers wouldn't have had their heads in their butts last year, they could have maybe beat them in the playoffs, and then also maybe in Brazil.
Hey, what the hell
Am I
is
wrong?
going on out there?
Am I wrong?
Maybe in Brazil. The playoffs, we didn't have a shot at that one.
Because the Packers didn't do anything.
Exactly.
The Eagles weren't playing lights out.
They still kicked your ass.
They weren't.
They still beat our butts
and
because
wasn't the
we didn't
quarterback
do
coming
anything.
off of 2 weeks off?
Yeah. Might have been more than that.
Knocking a little rust off.
The Packers'
coming
offensive
off a
line was decimated that game, too.
I mean, they ended up playing Glover and whoever else, right? I don't even remember all their names.
You shouldn't.
Hence the reason why we have a new offensive.
Kadeem Telfort was his name.
Yeah, that guy too.
All right, we can pull that one later, but we already have 2 polls up.
Yeah, no,
and
that's
so
fair.
We'll get to it.
I would say
in the
I'm not
polls.
going to forget it. It's just Looney Tunes conversation.
My point would be as a fan, I actually didn't vote in this. I'll let you guys pick it. At the Steelers with Aaron Rodgers, obviously there. We gave one NFC North opponent, so you guys selected the Week 1 game against the Lions. I get that. But then if I could see the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, multiple MVPs, and a team that I'm never going to see, and I see him at Lambeau Field, that's pretty amazing.
Yep.
That's a team that's always in the deep playoff hunt. And then the Commanders with Jaden Daniels, he might be the best quarterback in the NFC North or in the NFC. So
He's definitely in the conversation.
Jalen Hurts.
And they're a fun team to watch, too.
Jared Goff, Daniels. I mean, they're right there.
Jordan Love.
Who?
Not Caleb Williams. No, I'm just kidding. Don't fight me. Don't fight me.
No, you're right. Not Caleb Williams now.
Neither Jordan Love either.
Yeah, so I'm not saying Caleb Williams at all, but I don't think Jordan Love is top. Where is he? Real quick.
In the NFC?
Yeah. You got to go Daniels in front of him.
Maybe 6.
Goff. You got to put Purdy in front of him.
Okay.
He's got more seasons
of
success and wins.
I'm not fighting it.
Trying to think of other.
It's NFC.
Hurts, you got to put Jalen Hurts in front of him.
Hurts, Purdy,
Darnold
Goff.
last year was better than
No,
him.
I won't do Darnold.
He's still
literally saying.
in the NFC, right?
I know.
Yeah,
he's
but
with the Seahawks.
Darnold's the 1 year. I would say they're close to the peers, but
I'm trying to think who else is in the NFC. Not
Kyler
Dak.
Murray, no.
He's better than Dak.
Yeah.
Is he though? Could he just be Dak?
He could be Dak. Which I mean,
Mr. Mid.
I like Dak Prescott, so I'm not shading Dak at all.
I'm not shading Love. I think Dak's a good player.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
He's
Did anyone mention
Baker Mayfield?
Stafford as well?
Stafford.
Oh yeah, and Baker's had some stat like
He's been good the last couple of years with Tampa, I feel like.
He's been feeling dangerous.
Yeah.
We taking like one season. Who did you rather have like this season, or are we talking
again because
like
it's
building
the type of the
franchise?
offense
Yeah.
or whatever. No, it's just overall like
Because you're not like Baker's been solid.
he's
No
been
doubt.
his stats are better than Jordan, so he'd
Yeah,
be better
yeah.
than solid.
Yeah.
If you don't, unless you think Jordan isn't solid. Stafford's interesting.
I
think
wouldn't say solid is the way I would describe Jordan Love's game.
I would go Stafford
Inconsistent.
this year with Devontae Adams and the rest of that offense.
Yeah.
Like Stafford,
If he stays healthy.
he could be an MVP conversation.
Yeah.
Again, my whole take on Stafford is that he just needs one more elite season, and he
surpasses Rodgers.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer already.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
But if Rodgers has another middling season, and
Which
if,
he's going
and
to.
if Stafford could put together the type of season he could with this type of
Are you really
Talent-
trying to? Rodgers doesn't even have a team right now, and you're still trying to say,
Well,
he's
we're
not going to be
assuming
mid
it's
this
the
year.
Do you think
Steelers.
Rodgers will be even playing in Week 8? That's the case against
Yeah.
that game.
Yes.
He still hasn't. It's not official at the end of the day, guys.
But let's say
All right, but the breadcrumbs are leading us there. Like we're
Yeah.
just reading the breadcrumbs.
the
reading tea
ayahuasca
leaves.
crumbs. Yeah, the tea leaves. The tea leaves is
There
what
we
you should
go.
say there.
I'm just saying he's old. Week 8 is kind of a stretch. Like I was listening to other podcasts, and they're like, "We're glad we're facing the Steelers late because Aaron Rodgers probably won't be playing by then."
Also, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is that big and scary of a guy. I wish
No.
this game was at Lambeau, though. The juice would be so much
God.
more.
Unbelievable.
Oh,
When Brett Favre came back with the Vikings, our station did 24 hours worth of coverage.
wow.
Wow.
It's incredible.
So, yeah, it was incredible. It was a lot of fun and a lot of juice to it. On the other side, because we got side railed, we will do the schedule game. We're going to run through the Packers schedule. We're going to give off the official Jim, Matt, and Molly Packers schedule prediction. At Canopy Wealth Management, they are a fee-based advisory firm. They don't chase commissions and never back gimmicks or instruments that chase single-day returns or put your long-term goals at risk. The team at Canopy creates strategies that are tailored to your needs and goals. Canopy Wealth Management, care, competence, and clarity aren't just buzzwords. They're a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started with them today. That's canopy-wealth.com. It's Jim, Matt, and Molly.
You're listening live from St. John's, Newfoundland. The Newfies love Jim, Matt, and Molly. 100.5 ESPN, Madison.
Veterans of Foreign Wars Wisconsin recently upgraded their document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Adam Wallace, VFW State Adjutant.
Our representative ensured that we had what was right for us, for our needs, and for our budget, and I thought it was a very good interaction.
That's a good thing to have James Imaging Systems as your local business technology partner?
Absolutely. We want people that are going to support what we want to do in supporting veterans, and if that means spending less on our imaging and technology costs, that's more that we can spend on our programs.
And that's a really good thing. Adam, any advice to other businesses out there?
I would say to go with James Imaging.
Because?
Because they are a partner, and they give great customer service, and the prices are right.
Great document imaging technology, great service, great value. From James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as... That's 888-665-0696.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ. That's JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe. June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Guys, I'm so excited. You know that I've been talking about Carbon World Health a lot lately, but guess what? I got my consultation all booked, so I'm going in there next week to check out their brand new location in the Prairie Lake Shopping Center. I'm going to work with Ashley to kind of figure out what all I want to do. I've talked about the hydrofacials, so I'm going to hopefully get some glowy skin. Hopefully I won't be so, well, I'll be glowy, but just not like white glowy like I am on the YouTube stream right now. So stay tuned to see my skin transformation. So I'm super excited to get my journey started at Carbon World Health. Stop in over at the Prairie Lake Shopping Center today to get started on your health and wellness journey.
She is Molly Brown. I am Jim Rutledge alongside Matt Hamilton. We're in the Everlight Solar Studio. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. Primetime Laura Sean behind the glass. We're going to play the schedule game. I did see this little note. The Buffalo Bills open as the only team in the NFL favored in all 17 of their games.
Wow. That's crazy.
That is crazy because they got to play the Chiefs at some point. Like, they almost always schedule one against the Chiefs.
I don't know if they're on the Chiefs. I mean, at some point you can't. I mean, you have to play the division you're looking.
I would also imagine if they're playing the Chiefs, it could be at home, too, that could help them be favored.
Right. Chiefs win.
Also, if it's at the beginning of the season, I feel like the Chiefs typically stink in the beginning of the season, too, so like that could play into it. Again, I haven't even looked at their schedule to know. Chiefs kind of stink at the beginning of the season
last year
until they get it together.
I was like, didn't they lose one game last year?
I don't know.
But they only scored more than 30 once.
I know, but they only lost one game. Can't call them stinky.
No.
Yeah.
I get what Molly's saying.
They struggled. Last year, because remember last year it was like they all came down to like the final play of the game.
Last year you can't count because they won all those. The year before they definitely have had.
Yeah, the year before.
Yeah, but they lost those games. Like, you can't call a team that finished 15-1 struggling early. Like, when the other years when they finished strong and they made a run into it and they finished with like 10 wins because they had a back.
What if someone from the Chiefs said that they struggled early? Like, they won their games.
All right, I'm not going to get into it.
It looks like they could have been better.
They're 15-1. Yeah, they could have been better. They were 15-1. It's not. It's a struggle we all want. All right, let's get to the Detroit. Let's get to the schedule game here. We're getting caught up in stupid semantics. Like, they were 15-1. Everyone wants to struggle like that. All right, I understand.
I would love to struggle like that. I'm just saying that they were struggling. Like, it just feels like they're not the team that they are at the end of the season.
Chiefs win.
They start their season differently than the way that they end it.
I mean,
am I wrong?
Did they lose week one? I mean, they
Ryan,
lost to end the season.
get out of here. Literally.
Chiefs win.
By the way, the Bills.
You and Jim can just walk on out.
The Bills
please.
host the Chiefs week 9, so that game's in Buffalo. And then you mentioned they're favored in every game. They also play the Eagles and the Ravens and the Texans this year.
So the Texans I get.
Texans make sense after last year.
Ravens?
But Ravens week 1 and then Eagles week 18. Or week 17.
Are those both home games?
The Eagles are a home game. The Ravens are a home game too. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Chiefs lost 2 games last year.
Chiefs win.
So just worth pointing that out. They
Chiefs
beat
lose,
beat the Baltimore Ravens 27-20 to start the year. Then it was Cincinnati 26-25, then 22-17, 17-10, 26-13, 28-18. It was the middle of the season where they had those little tight runs. Like 27-20 is a victory.
Wasn't the first game against the Ravens the one that the guy's foot was on the line?
But they won 27-20.
On the line.
They won 27-20 though.
I know. I'm literally just saying that the way that they seem to start out their season just always feels so slow.
That one was tight, but then the rest.
And maybe it's also the media coverage of it too, that everybody's like, oh, like they're in these close games. They don't look like they're going to be winning.
They had 30-27, 19-17, 19-17. Like that was obviously those are very tight games that they won.
Wait, what schedule released yesterday? It was the dating show one. Was it the Giants one? And then it was the Chiefs girl, and she's like, I love zebras. Because like she was the Chiefs fan, and then she loved zebras, the refs.
Okay, that's good.
It was pretty good.
That is good.
All right, so let's get to the schedule release here for the Green Bay Packers. We're going to play the schedule game. So, Detroit Lions home to start the season.
Dub.
Dub.
I'm going to say the Lions are just going to be figuring out the new offense.
All right, Washington Commanders.
That one.
Dub.
I marked that as a loss.
I think
Ryan
that's a loss.
Okay. Ryan will be the tiebreaker if we need one then, I guess.
Well,
There's 3 of you
There's
guys.
3 of us. We don't need a tiebreaker.
Oh, true.
You guys both picked those.
All right. At the Browns.
Win.
Win.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. At Cowboys.
Win.
They win at 18.
3-1, baby!
I think that's going to be an L. But all right. Well, no, the Cowboys.
The Cowboys?
Yeah,
well,
Mr.
No, they got
Lambeau
coach.
South.
It's McCarthy. Yeah, that part I don't care about. I don't think the Packers are that good. I don't think the Cowboys are that. I think the Cowboys are closer talent-wise, but I forgot Schottenheimer's their coach, not McCarthy. So
Yeah,
McCarthy
even if it was McCarthy.
No, McCarthy, I would give him a dub. But
I'm
in
pretty
this
sure
case,
we beat them bad. Jordan Love's first year as a starter in the playoffs when Mike McCarthy was the coach.
That was 3 years ago.
2.
3 when that game happens.
Well, less because of playoffs, and this is early in the season.
Jordan Love could kick Mike McCarthy's ass every single year, 3 times a year, and Jim would still say,
Mike
I don't think they can do it.
He beat him once. He beat him one time.
They scored enough points to beat him twice.
And also, by the way, the defense could have beaten them. I think the defense might have scored more points than the Packers offense did, at least in the first half.
I don't remember.
Cincinnati at Lambeau.
This is coming off the bye.
Coming off the bye.
That defense is rough. I'm going to say that's a win.
Which one? We have no corners.
We have corners. We're set now. Jair's coming back.
Jair didn't play most of last year, and the defense was pretty
Jair's
good.
playing 17 this year.
Fine. I'll be looped into a win.
Okay. All right, and at Arizona.
That's a win.
Yeah, I agree.
Again,
what do you think?
Lambeau of the South.
What do you think? You think that's an L?
I just think they're going to lose some of the. I just think they're just going to lose some of these games. They're not going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4. They're not going to be 4-1.
Trust
after
me,
5
they're going to have a
games.
stretch here. Don't worry.
They were 4-1 to start last season.
Yeah, I don't think they're as good as they were last year. I think the other teams have gotten better.
But so far, like, is there a team that really stands out that you would say easily or should beat them?
I look at it more like this: that I think they're going to lose either to Cincinnati or at Arizona. I don't know specifically. I just kind of look at it as like they're not going to get 4-1, in my opinion.
I'm calling.
I just don't think they're that good.
They're not losing to Arizona.
At Pittsburgh.
That one could be a loss.
Oh, I don't know. I think the Packers take down Rodgers.
I think that'll be a loss because it's at Heinz.
I'm going to give it a loss because they need to, otherwise you have this team winning.
6 and what?
Wait, did Jim just pick Aaron Rodgers to win a football game?
I did. Carolina Panthers, that's a dub.
Yep.
Yeah.
Home Philly.
That's an L.
At the Giants is a dub.
Yep.
That one makes me nervous, though.
I mean,
that's one of those
we
ones
thought
that
it
it's
was
like
a dub against
Tommy DeVito, Danny
Cutlets.
Again, it goes back to there could be a weird surprise loss in here, but I think we just got to chalk it up to Minnesota at Lambeau. This is November 23rd.
I'll take the win there. They'll lose to him at US Bank.
Same. That's kind of I'm splitting the division here, so I got them losing.
I was gonna have fun with it and say we'll win at US Bank and lose it.
Do it.
No, but you're probably right.
All right, I'm going to put an
split with the
L
Vikings.
down at Detroit. I'm going to have the right.
Yeah, Detroit. That's fine.
And then you got Chicago at Lambeau, December 7th.
That's a win for the Packers.
All right,
I'll
at
take the
Denver.
win.
Molly says
That's
it's
a
an
loss.
auto L.
It's an L.
You're probably...
All right, I got them losing at the Bears. That's a hill I'll die on. It's a bad schedule matchup, and I think Chicago's good enough to split versus them.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
go
so
with you
weird.
there.
Like, go Bears, Broncos, Bears.
I hate that. It's 13 days
And
apart.
and it's at Denver, and you get a shorter week.
Yep.
I know
And then
Chicago's
you
not
go
much of a travel,
to
but still.
Soldier. Well,
But-
still, you got to come back from Denver.
Yep.
Agree.
To me, it's the way it's broken out.
I think they're going to split the division with each team this
Same.
year.
I think the division is going to split it around. And again, that would be an improvement for the Packers. They only won one divisional game
I
last
just
year.
really hate the L from the Broncos then. You think they go in that Bears, Broncos, Bears, they go 1-2?
Let's just get to the end of the year. Ravens.
Loss.
I'll take the win.
That's an L to me.
Okay, and then I got an L there, and then at Minnesota, L.
Yeah.
So this is where it gets hard. You got them losing 1, 2, 3, 4, and I don't think that'll happen
Right.
at the end of the year.
I don't either. That's why I think they
But
beat the Broncos. I think they're better than the Broncos.
1, 2, 3,
So they're
4,
10 and 7
5,
for me.
which would put them over the under. Like, that's a good number, though. At the end of the year, 10 and 7 is a good number because Vegas has got them 9.5. It gets them over the Vegas number. 10 and 7 puts them in play for the division, puts them in play for a wild card. One less win than last year.
I don't think that this is terribly off. I agree that this is totally feasible. I have them at 11-6 in my heart.
I think Gabe and Chewy did this morning as well.
But we did
So that's interesting.
We did a team one at 10 and 7.
Well, I gave Molly the L on the Broncos.
Okay, in
I would
Matt's
fight that
personal
one.
he is 11-6. In my personal one, I'm 10-7. In our
Honestly,
group
all
one,
I
I'm
care
10-7.
about now is the Packers-Broncos game. Put it on the board.
What do you guys think if we had to pick the biggest swing game on the schedule? What is it? Like the biggest game where it's like could go either way.
At Denver. But
At
I would say like
Denver?
that the one could swing the way their season goes.
At Denver's up there. I
Interesting.
think
Ravens?
at Pittsburgh is up there.
Yeah.
Because if you circle back here, Chicago, you got at Detroit, Chicago, at Denver, Chicago, Baltimore, and at Minnesota. That is a hellish end of the season.
Yeah.
After they get back from New York, because it actually goes Minnesota, at Detroit, Chicago, at Denver, at Chicago, Baltimore, and then at Minnesota.
That's a tough 6-7 game stretch there.
Also, they're playing 13 games straight. A week 5 bye is trash.
Yeah, it's not a good
and
buy.
5 of the last 7 games against divisional opponents. It's probably going to decide the NFC. I mean, it's hard to say that it decides the NFC North because I don't know if the Packers will be actually vying for the title again this year.
I think 10 wins might get it. I don't think Detroit is.
Detroit.
I think we
I think the Vikings are going to struggle a bit, not knowing what they have with J.J. McCarthy, if they'll even.
I think their season's going to go similar to what the Packers had a few years ago. Actually, I think Chicago's going to be the same. Like, and we'll get to the book
As a
out
show, I'm
about
fine
Caleb
with
Williams
this,
and everything,
but-
but like I think Chicago and Minnesota are going to start a little bit slow and then hit the ground running. One, because they have a new quarterback in Minnesota, and two, new offensive system in Chicago. But apparently, Caleb Williams not coached last year in Chicago, so puts it a little different light on his season if he put up those numbers and beat the Packers without being coached. It's actually pretty impressive.
Wait, also, game where Jordan Love didn't play the
Should we just
the whole thing.
count all the excuses at
Second
start?
half.
I know, right? I mean, just every single time.
No excuses.
I'll just start keeping a mental tally.
No excuses. Why I'm excited for last year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why I'm excited for this year. Not excuses for last year.
I was going to say, you're
keep a
excited
tally.
for
I
us.
want to know on your count.
But also, like,
Jim will say no excuses, but that's also like saying, hey, I don't want to offend you, but
no excuses.
But
Caleb-
Molly, you're pale.
But no,
I don't
no
want to be
excuses.
offensive.
It's not excuses. Caleb had the season he had. I can't excuse it, but I can be optimistic that he has real coaching this year.
Yeah, 100%.
I can agree with that.
So that's all. I'm not
Yeah.
excusing what happened last year.
I
I'm
just want to
saying
know
that-
what Molly counts as an excuse when it's all tallied up. That's all. That's fine. You can
tally up the Jordan Love excuses too.
Yeah.
Receivers, offensive line,
Well,
coaching.
Ryan just had one. He didn't play for a
What'd
whole
I say?
game.
Tucker Kraft
Yeah.
didn't finish his route.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
that was
that-
so brutal.
Should we just keep a general Jordan Love, Caleb Williams?
We
then
should.
Then
We
which
should
one
have
is
an
sadder?
excuses one.
Which one is sadder keeping excuses for? A second-year QB or a fifth-year QB?
I was gonna
Jim
say-
Matt and Molly presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Medicine on YouTube. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC. Kamari McGee on the podium at UW-Madison's student-athlete grad ceremony. The 3-year Badger guard recollecting on his Madison memories, audio courtesy Badger Athletics.
My first year here was probably the toughest year of my life. After being known as a top player on my previous teams, it was hard adjusting to the new role that I was given. If it were not for the support from my loved ones, teammates, and coaches, I would not be in this position that I'm in today. I hope everyone leaves here proud of all of their accomplishments. And last but not least, on Wisconsin.
Don't wait to upgrade your windows and doors, because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Cheesy Bites Pizza is back at Pizza Hut. For only $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. Plus, it comes with Pizza Hut's very own Ranch Lovers Flight, featuring 3 bold dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Ready to dip into deliciousness? Well, hurry. It's only available for a limited time. Head to a Pizza Hut location or order online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Mark Tauscher here for Kohler Services. Well, if you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, now's the time to turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer, providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and no interest financing for 12 months. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote, with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Tournament host Steve Stricker joins a star-studded group of PGA Tour champions at the American Family Insurance Championship. Catch the action June 6th through the 8th with an exciting team competition and a new tournament home at TPC, Wisconsin. This year's AmFam Champ concert features Megan Maroney with special guest Clint Black on Friday, June 6th at Breese Stevens Field. All proceeds support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
This is our crew.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Every pitch, every strike, every hit.
Fly ball right field. Hit a ton. We're tied.
Hear the call of every Milwaukee Brewers game this season on 100.5 ESPN.
Back at the track. Get up. Get up. Get out of here. Gone.
Madison's new home for Milwaukee Brewers baseball. 100.5 ESPN. The High Life Backyard Dive Bar giveaway is brought to you by Miller High Life. Celebrate local dives at home with the champagne of beers. Miller High Life.
All right, caller number 10 is going to be in the High Life right now. 844-770-3776. Caller number 10 wins a case of High Life. 844.
In honor of us lowballing the Packers.
844-770.
Let's go.
They cover
Optimistic.
ESPN bet, and everyone has them at 9.5. We went over the over-under, but we're lowballing them still.
After we talked it out, it just seemed
Caller number 10,
weak.
844-770-3776. Wins a case of High Life, 844-770-3776. He's Matt Hamilton. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Molly Brown. We're in the Everlight Solar studio. Primetime Orshon behind the glass. You can see us on ESPN Madison YouTube stream. You can stream us on the ESPN Wisconsin app. And we look at this, and we're looking at the schedule. We ended up at 10-7. But when you look at the schedule, like the guaranteed, without a doubt, wins, and I've come around on the Cowboys there, but I just think Dak and that offense is good, and they could surprise the Packers. It's a night game. Like, it's just we all assume that Schottenheimer is going to be terrible, but Dallas has got a ton of talent, offensively and defensively. Their roster might be better than the Packers. Their coaching staff doesn't match. And look, as someone who's experienced bad coaching staff matters more. But at the Browns and at the Cowboys, guaranteed unquestioned wins. Carolina at Lambeau, I guarantee it, as much as you can in the NFL. At the Giants, same thing. And that's probably it. That I would be like, without a doubt, you have no concern about the Packers losing.
Correct.
I still have concerns about that one.
What about the Cardinals?
I
say that too?
I don't think the Cardinals are a guarantee. Like, they're going to be considered a playoff contender this year. I wouldn't call that a guarantee win. The Packers will absolutely be favored. Like, if we want to play this game, run it through Detroit, they'll be favored at home. Washington, it'll probably be like a pick'em or like less, like -2.5. So I guess they'll be favored, but
I think they'll be favored at home. But you're right, but not by a lot. Not by more than 3.5.
I think it won't be a true favorite. I think it'll be a pick'em. It'll be like a -2.5, which is you won't get the full 3 points for being at home. Right. At Cleveland, they're favored. At Dallas, they're favorite. Cincinnati at home, they'll be favorites. At Arizona, favorites. Pittsburgh, at Pittsburgh, favorites. Home Carolina, favorites. Philly, dog. At the Giants, favorites. Minnesota, home favorites. At Detroit, dogs, I'm sure. Home Chicago, favorites. At Denver and at Chicago, probably dogs, depending on how that goes. Or at least like Chicago might get like half a point.
Might depend where Denver and Chicago are at that point.
Yeah, but Chicago might get 2.5 points or something like that in that one, similar to how the Packers will get against Washington. And then the Ravens, they'll be favored. At home, I think it'll be one of those where it might be a pick-em, like a 1.5 or something like that. So it's kind of being a dog. But because you usually get 3 for being at home.
Yeah.
But and then at Minnesota, a dog for sure.
Yeah, agree.
So even off of like the, I guess if you went off the favorite sort of things, I think that probably has them 12 wins.
11 or 12, yeah.
Do you think the last game against the Vikings at US Bank Stadium is going to be, I guess, is going to matter for either team?
Because here's the thing, you got that bonus wild card, and I could see it. I point out 2 years ago, and it was, I think the game before ended up eliminating Chicago outside of like a Hail Mary chance, pun intended, with the Washington Commanders. But 2 years ago when the Bears had Justin Fields, going into that last game, I think there was like a 1% chance, or like if everything broke right, they could get in there, and they were not a good team. But if they had won one prior game earlier, it would have decided their chances of getting to the playoffs or not.
Right.
And so that, like, because of the extra playoff, there can be cases where that game could have. It might not be strong playoff implications, but it could be something. I think, and I said it earlier, I think Minnesota and Chicago will be middling teams. I think they're going to maybe not the highs and lows of the Packers 2 years ago with Jordan Love's first season as a starter, but I think both those teams could follow similar trajectories for different reasons.
Yeah.
J.J. McCarthy getting his feet under him as a quarterback, and then Ben Johnson figuring out the weapons and how to get the most out of Caleb Williams. I think both those things are going to happen. I think J.J. McCarthy is going to be I don't think he's going to be elite, but I think he can be a Sam Darnold level quarterback. And I think Caleb's going to I think he's going to climb up a level. Right now, he would be a guy who is a up and coming player, but not a top tier quarterback. And I think he will climb into that. He's now going to be viewed as a guy that can take a next step following next season.
Yeah.
But he's 2 steps away. He's 2 steps away from Jordan Love.
I buy that. My prediction for that last game, it's going to be like the Packers versus Lions, Aaron Rodgers' last game. The Vikings are going to be out and playing exclusively spoiler for the Packers, who will be looking for their 10th or 11th win.
But in that
case,
if
that's the case, then the Packers are fighting to get into the playoffs because if they lose,
that's what I'm saying. The Packers win, they're in. The Packers lose, both teams are out.
Can I ask you an inverse question too? Who's going to be the worst team in the division this year? Like,
Vikings.
Who's having the worst record? Matt, I know Matt is very much anti-Vikings.
I think the Vikings will too.
Interesting. I'll still say the Bears. I think the Bears
the
have
case
the
for
worst.
the Bears is that the Bears have always been inconsistent and bad.
Yeah.
Because the case, otherwise, all logic would post to they've gutted a terrible coaching staff. The article that came out today reiterates how terrible of a coaching staff that was, and they rebuilt their entire offensive line, and they won 5 games with one of the worst coaching staffs maybe in all of football in the last 5 years, last year. So just on that side of it, I think that they're going to go from I think they're 9 8.5 is their number. I feel like that's a good number. I would put them at 9 probably this year for wins.
Like I think they're going to get around that same number too. But I don't know. I guess I got burned last year by thinking that the Vikings were going to have like 6 wins and they end up having like 14. So I don't know. I feel like I just can't count them out. I know that JJ McCarthy though. I don't have faith in him.
Especially
that is
early.
The problem.
If I'm just hearing it, if the Packers are, I feel like the Packers and the Lions are going to be right there at 10.5, 11 wins, or 10 or 11 wins to win the division, and then Chicago and Minnesota are going to be like 9-8 window to be a wild card team.
I think 9-8, exactly. Bears at 9, Minnesota at 8. Packers and Lions are right at that 10, 11, maybe 12.
And that game.
But if you're saying that, then you're like negating what you think that this other game is going to be then. Because you were just saying
if the Packers are around 10-7 like we predicted, and the Vikings are at 8, there's a very good chance it's exactly like that Lions game where the Lions finish 8-9 with that win. The Packers finish 9-8 and are bounced out because the Seahawks clip them.
Okay.
And Detroit had
it's close. I do think they're going to be very bunched. It's going to be a tight grouping in the middle of the
Well, I'm
NFC
just thinking
North.
if you keep adding a win here and there like you are, 10, 11, 12 wins.
I was thinking 11, 12
then it changes.
more in the Lions being at 11, 12.
Gotcha.
Packers being like more 11, 10.
Okay. I see.
I still think the Lions
I
have
hope
to
you're
be
wrong.
the favorites going into the season for NFC North champs.
I agree. I just don't think they are massive favorites like they were last year.
I totally agree.
All
We're
right.
on the same page.
We'll continue this conversation on the other side. It's Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Catch a special high school baseball showcase on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania, the annual Cardinal Strikeout Cancer game between Sun Prairie East and Middleton. We're even bringing in Mark Tauscher to help call the game. Stream live Thursday on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel at 4:30 and catch the full radio broadcast starting at 7 p.m.
Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania on 100.5 ESPN and streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center update brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's premier roofing, siding, and window contractor since 2002. Visit them at ridgetopexteriors.com. We finally got a schedule, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, the Green Bay Packers 2025 schedule came out yesterday afternoon, 7 p.m. Go back and watch the full schedule reaction show with Alex Schroff and Gabe Neitzel on the ESPN Madison YouTube page. But some of the highlights include Week 1 at Lambeau Field for the first time since 2018. The Packers open the season at home. They'll be taking on the division rival Lions. That's a 3:25 p.m. kickoff on Fox. Then on top of that, they have 4 primetime games, 6 nationally broadcast games overall. That includes a Week 8 matchup against the Steelers on Sunday Night Football. Curious if that will be Aaron Rodgers against his old team. And then the Packers taking on the defending Super Bowl champ Philadelphia Eagles at Lambeau Field on Monday Night Football in Week 10. Make sure to head over to ESPNWisconsin.com for all your Packers schedule reactions and reveals. Also, stay tuned for the second hour of Jim, Matt, and Molly coming up next as we continue talking Packers schedule. Brewers got the day off before starting a 3-game home series against the Minnesota Twins tomorrow night at 7:10 p.m.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
We're learning a lot about each other.
What is that called? He made chicken soup out of chicken poop? No?
Hey, Josh, welcome to your dream, bro. Here's the deal. The schedule is missing, and you need to find it.
What is it?
Chicken salad out of chicken.
Yeah, chicken soup out of chicken poop sounds better.
Can you help me find it? Oh, there it is. Oh, wait. I think this is what you're looking for.
Cringe.
Hey, what the hell is going on out there? Get the F off of our field.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
Hour number 2 of Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Molly Brown and Matt Hamilton. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
I like to pretend I have the power, but Primetime Wollersheim often has the power here on Jim, Matt, and Molly. You can get into the show, 844-770-3776 on the Car Was Talking text line. Less is more. We had a few texts come through, and we had Stin, the Badger Equipment alum. In hindsight, with Caleb not wanting to be a Bear on a scale of 1 to 10, how upset is Jim that the Bears didn't take Jaden Daniels?
Tell Rutledge that.
We'll get into it later. The first part is whatever. He wants to be a Bear now. That same article says that he is very happy to be a Bear and very happy about all of this. So I don't care. I don't get in my feels if a guy didn't want to be. I don't blame him. Like everything he said about the Bears, and we'll get into it later in the show, everything he said about the Bears proved out to be accurate. And but it's worth noting that, and this is lost in the sauce on social media, the article on ESPN and the book says that after Caleb Williams did his team visit, he was all in on being a Chicago Bear. So before he was drafted, after he actually sat down and talked with the team in person, he was all in on being the Chicago Bears. Now, the Bears did him dirty. They did not help him, and hopefully that'll change going forward. That's from Stin. So I would say in general, though, leaving that other part out of it, I'm going to leave it at a 5 because I want to see what Caleb does with proper coaching. Because Jaden Daniels is a great, outstanding player, but he also had Cliff Kingsbury, who is unquestionably a great offensive mind, designing up plays and running a functional offense. And if you did go the whole story from ESPN, the Bears apparently just told Caleb to study film, but didn't study film with him, gave him no tips how to study film.
It's insane.
And then Shane Waldron was ran out of Seattle, is hated there, and now is hated in Chicago, and the guy just can't build an offense. So
how long do you give Caleb Williams within this new system under all these new coaches? Like, how long do you comfortably give? And I'm not saying it should be a year, 2 years. I don't know.
I want to see progress. He just needs to be, and it's not going to be the baseline statistics. I need to see the EPA and the other things go forward. Here's what I like, and Ben Johnson, and maybe we'll play it later, he addressed some of the stuff on Caleb. Ben Johnson is not going to sugarcoat anything. So if Ben Johnson truly believes in Caleb, you're going to know it. And if he doesn't, he doesn't. So I'm honestly like, I hope Ben Johnson is happy with him. And that's the way I'm looking at it. And that means this offense is going to look like the Packers did a few years. I think they're going to put the handcuffs on him. They're going to run the football a ton. They're going to run 12 personnel. And they're going to try to make his life as easy as possible. I also was talking about how I think Stafford, in the end, could end up with a better legacy, especially if he gets to one more Super Bowl. That's the more important part to get the MVPs. He asked how much older is Rodgers and Stafford. 4 years. Stafford is 37. Aaron Rodgers is 41. So it's, I don't know if they're playing 4 more seasons, Stafford is, but worth noting.
Stafford was beat up more than Rodgers was, wasn't he?
For sure.
But also that would true, but he's also a bigger, stronger guy than Rodgers. Stafford is one of the bigger quarterbacks in the league. But he is a guy that I don't know how long he's going to play. I have no idea. I think it's definitely he's in the year-by-year range.
For sure.
Are you looking up the height and weight there for him? Or I can't real quick, but
for Aaron Rodgers or Matthew Stafford?
Stafford here, I'll bring it up. I have it now. I just need a second. He is 6'3", 214 pounds. So it's the weight part because Rodgers, I feel like, is 6'1" and seems
Rodgers is 6'2", 225. That's what, according to Google.
Okay, and looking at them, I do not bet Aaron Rodgers 225. Nor I also think 214 is very generous for Matthew Stafford.
Aaron Rodgers has hippie strength. He has the strength of just standing out in the sun for multiple days at a time, where his skin's all leathery and it's just taut.
He's like, I would think Aaron Rodgers like 6'.
Did you just describe
taut?
Never mind.
6'2", like I would have guessed like 6'2", 205. He just looks wiry. Stafford's just got some bulk to him. But
Rodgers looks, I think a better word than wiry is frail. Like he's an old man now.
He looks like an old guy. Stafford does not look like an old guy.
Yeah.
Like that's the difference there. Stafford took a lot of beating, but he's not looked like an old guy.
No.
The Adam and Madison, I think the Lions will be worse than expected after losing Glenn and Johnson. Vikings are a true mystery. Bears will do better than expected with revamped O-line, complete offensive-minded coach. Williams and Adunze having a full year of experience. Packers, Bears, 10-11 wins each. Lions 9-10, Vikings 7-8. From your lips to God's ears, because that you want to talk about a fun football season. If that December 20th game, it wouldn't be the de facto because there's too much time left, but a kind of de facto NFC North Championship game.
It would be fun. I am. As long as the Packers can remain towards the top of this, I am looking forward to competition within the NFC North. As long as the Packers can remain at the top. As long as they're not
nice little caveat there. I agree.
As long as the Packers rock, I'm good with the competition. They don't have to win every single game. It's just let it be fun.
We have them splitting, going 3-3 in the division this year.
Well,
what do you guys?
I have them. I don't know about you.
That's an improvement over last year.
I know. I'm just saying that's.
I was gonna say, what do you guys think their most likely finish in the division is? First, second, third, or fourth?
Second.
Second again
is the most likely.
If you had to pick, if you had to put money on it,
if I'm putting percentages on it, I put second as the most likely percentage.
I would say third.
So I go second, third, first,
behind.
last.
I think everyone's underrating the Vikings again, guys.
So you're on the same. You're in the same camp as me, kind of. Yeah.
I think I kind of agree with Jim. I think the Bears will improve gradually, probably get to that 8 wins range, and I would see the Packers more and probably where we put them at the 10-11 win range, depending on how some things swing in certain games here or there.
Like, I think we've called Kevin O'Connell the quarterback whisperer for a couple years now, especially after seeing what he did with Sam Darnold. Like, I don't think we can knock that out. Now, granted, I don't think J.J. McCarthy's going to be a superstar. He's still a rookie, essentially. He's
Sam
coming
Darnold
off an injury.
Has still seen it all.
Here's the one,
and let's stop acting like the rest of the team isn't really good.
Well, again, also let's stop acting like Sam Darnold was any good before he got with O'Connell, and so he might be able to get a lot more out of McCarthy than we're expecting.
And aside from quarterbacks, the Vikings defense might be the best in the NFL on a given day.
Brian Flores is incredible.
So again, Brian Flores, and I do want to get to this with Wildy at some point. Both Chicago and Minnesota have a built-in advantage. Flores, unfortunately, he's probably not getting a head coach job. He's still suing the NFL. So he's one of those D coordinators who's good enough to earn a head coaching job, like Hafley is. But Hafley is gonna, if he continues on this trend upwards, he's gonna be gone, and then you're gonna have to replace him. And Dennis Allen with the Bears, Dennis Allen has been one of the best defensive coordinators in all football, good enough that he got a head coaching job twice. He's not getting a third. Like the ideal guy, and like Dom Capers was like this for a while, and then the league kind of passed by, Vic Fangio, the guy who got their shot, they're no longer head coaching material, but then they can be a defensive coordinator for an offensive-minded guy. Like that's the ideal world you want to live in. Now, the one thing with the Lions, we're talking about the coaching staff, would it blow your mind to know that Dan Campbell he's an offensive guy? He played tight end. He was an offensive coach with the Saints. And before Ben Johnson took over, when the Lions fired Anthony Lynn, I believe, mid-season, it was Dan Campbell that took over the offensive play calling. Dan Campbell's first year, or Ben Johnson's first year with Dan Campbell, was very much of a collaborative effort there. So Dan Campbell is not like just a big ogre who doesn't know offense. Like he is a guy that understands.
Big ogre.
But I think there is this sort of idea of like,
no, he's a big ogre that understands offense.
Yeah, but so I do think that he's a little underrated of what influence he could have on what the Lions offense will do.
He's like an onion. He's got layers.
All right, Donkey. I just watched Shrek and.
References.
Yeah.
Got it.
Matt Eberflus. This is the one. Honestly, this is my biggest reason for excitement around the Bears. I've shared this before. 5-19 in one-score games, which is the worst record of any coach in at least 21 score games in NFL history. So the Bears literally had the worst coach in NFL history in one-score games, and one of the worst coaches, maybe period, in NFL history as their head coach. So like,
self-inflicted wounds.
Is he employed right now?
He's the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys.
He's a really good defensive coordinator.
He is a good defensive coordinator. He is. He was a good defensive coordinator with the Colts. That's how he got the job.
Mm-hmm.
He's just not a good head coach. Again, WAR. His WAR is if Ben Johnson comes in.
What is it good for?
If Ben Johnson comes in and is average, the Bears are automatically better. Forget the players. If Ben Johnson's just a league average coach, the Bears are better. I don't think they're winning the division. I don't think they're. I would still bet on the Lions and the Packers 1 and 2, but I think the Bears can fight with the Vikings, and then hopefully we got a real chance in a couple years.
I still can't believe Ryan's got the Packers at 3.
I just feel like the Vikings, the Packers need to prove they can beat them.
They have one of the best receiving cores in the National Football League.
Like, to Matt's point, the Adam Madison chimes in. Stafford slimmed down after going to the Rams. He was built like a damn linebacker in Detroit. And if you look at the pictures of Stafford in Detroit, I think he was like, I need to be built for this. Because Stafford in Detroit looked like a hefty fella. And look, you're in the Midwest, and you go out to L.A., you age, you drop some weight too.
Gotta get a beach body.
The Stafford weight I don't really push off as much as the 225 on Aaron Rodgers. Like,
I don't think he's 205 though. I mean, maybe after the Achilles injury,
like he's a
he
strong
couldn't do much.
205, like 220. So I believe Michael Jordan was 6'6", 210.
Yeah, but basketball players, football players, very different builds.
But 225 on 6 foot.
They focus on such different muscles
6
when
foot
they
225. He'd look chunky.
Well, seriously, I think like Michael Jordan's focusing on like flexibility,
True.
like
but that's Aaron
dexterity.
Rodgers. He talked about all that. Like Aaron Rodgers, if you told me he was 6'2", 225 during like up until like the last 4 years in Green Bay, I'd believe you.
I mean,
but
I remember
he made a turn to get super.
There were
skinny.
videos of him coming. I want to say it was going into his first offseason with the Jets, where he was like, I mean, he was squatting like 6'15". Like he's a strong guy.
Oh,
yes.
I'm not doubting his strength.
I think he's got a lot of muscle. I think there's some muscle.
I'm not doubting that either.
He's frail, like we said before.
Well, Molly thinks he's a he's in an old person's home.
Didn't he play every game last year?
No, I don't. I'm just saying he's like he just looks like he tore his Achilles and he's 41 years old playing in the National Football
It looks
League.
like
that is what he looks like.
At the end of Favre. Favre looked geriatric
minus the
out
drugs.
there. But like Favre looked geriatric
allegedly.
out there.
Ayahuasca.
And Aaron Rodgers looks geriatric out there. He looks like an old man. And don't give me the stats because I don't buy the stats on Caleb because if you look at any one step beyond advanced metric, Caleb's stats are not as nice as they looked. And same with Aaron Rodgers. They're not. They're fraud stats. They're traditionally nice QB stats, but EPA and things that matter towards running a successful offense, stats ain't there for either one of those guys. So I'm not just throwing Aaron Rodgers under the bus. I'm holding them both to the same standard, which means Aaron Rodgers was, I believe, a below league average QB when you count for EPA last year. Which is
if you watched him play games, not good.
Yeah. Ryan, what does EPA stand for? Expected
points added.
Yeah. And
it is also a team stat, so that is baked into how the Jets were performing around him.
True, but
a lot of it has to do with the quarterback, but what the Jets were putting out there too was
quarterbacks are often judged by the EPA. Like
True.
Aaron Rodgers was not good. Like we all watched him. He had some nice moments, but he was league average.
I think you're underselling him a little bit. We could ask Mark Tauscher on the other side.
League average. I think league average is fair. We can ask Mark Tauscher on the other side, but I think league average is a very fair description for, which is an improvement over Russell Wilson, who was maybe a tick below league average. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. The Sizzle, Swizzle, and Swirl Happy Hour is fantastic. We experienced this week. We saw Kevin, we saw Lee out there, and we had a great time. You can have a great time over at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. Tauscher up next.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
It's like dogs. Like you get like the snickerdoodle or all these. Like you're trying to build a
snickerdoodle.
Is that a real dog?
No, it's like a golden doodle.
Golden
it's a cookie.
doodle. Golden doodle.
Like a snickerdoodle. Half poodle, half Snickers bar.
I'm sure. Golden doodle. I don't know. This breeding dogs thing is dumb.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Veterans of Foreign Wars Wisconsin has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. VFW State Adjutant Adam Wallace.
Local is always important because we want to engage with our community and support local businesses. You know, we are local to Madison and they are too.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% locally owned and managed Wisconsin business technology company. The benefit?
The benefit is having reliable equipment, having a reliable way to print documents.
James Imaging Systems, local service you just can't get anywhere else.
The customer service is great, and if an issue, when it rarely arises, they're very quick to fix it.
That's another benefit for the VFW.
It's just one less thing that we need to worry about as an organization.
James Imaging Systems, AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Hey, it's Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly. I've been drinking ZOA Energy for a while now, and I absolutely love it. ZOA is my go-to beverage when I need a boost without the crash that comes with other energy drinks. It's packed with natural ingredients like vitamin B and C, electrolytes, and has zero sugar. It fuels my workouts and busy days. I recently had twins, and I have a toddler, so I need all of the energy I can get. Head over to ZOAEnergy.com to find the location nearest to you to pick up some ZOA for yourself. ZOA Energy for balance and drive.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
I'm John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. We've been at the heart of many magical moments, from engagements to weddings to sweet 16s. It warms my heart to be a part of these moments for 40 years with people I consider family. With the highest standards and an eye for classic beauty, enjoy a warm boutique setting at Goodman's Jewelers, where integrity shines in every gem. At 220 State Street, Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store, Madison, since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
When having new Pella windows and doors installed at your home, you get the full Pella experience. That means we're with you from start to finish. Our team doesn't disappear after the work is done. Just like with Vinny, your Pella experience starts with a free in-home consultation.
It was a really comfortable kitchen table chat. We knew Pella was going to get it right the first time, and they designed a project with us. They didn't just replace our windows and doors.
With customizations driving limitless possibilities, our Pella experts truly listen to your vision, just as we did with Nicole.
I felt like they really listened to us. There are so many options that are available, so it was nice to have someone narrow those down, offer some suggestions, and they made sure that the design was what we wanted.
Don't wait any longer, because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 5/31/2025.
This update sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you.
Add a Jackson Churio jersey to your collection on June 7th when the Brewers give away 25,000 Churio replica jerseys at the game against the Padres, courtesy of Chevrolet. Don't miss this one. Get tickets now at brewers.com/giveaways.
Join UW Credit Union at uwcu.org, insured by NCUA.
Green Bay Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher on Jim, Matt, and Molly is brought to you by Chalmers Jewelers. Chalmers Jewelers, with locations in Middleton and downtown Madison.
I don't know if I'd agree with that, Jim Rutledge.
Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer
Matt Hamilton. Help me out. Who is that?
Wisconsin football analyst.
You know what? It feels like Molly's the only one that's being sincere about that. So, Molly, I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Mark Tauscher on Jim, Matt, and Molly is brought to you by Chalmers Jewelers. Chalmers Jewelers, with locations in Middleton and downtown Madison.
We are thrilled to have Mark Tauscher on his way to the Cardinals Strikeout Cancer game, Sun Prairie East at Middleton. He has the unfortunate distinction of calling a game with Jesse Nelson. It is tentative to be on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. It has not been canceled yet. We'll have to see. We'll follow along with big weather, but lots of hail in the area, so hopefully all the field isn't too damaged out there and the bleachers aren't too damaged. But, Mark, are you excited for your is this your debut with calling a baseball game?
Yeah, I've never done a baseball game. So unfortunate, I guess, is the word you used with Jesse. I'm still shocked. I've been holding out because in the east side of Madison / Sun Prairie, it has been hail. It's been getting pounded. But this game is still on over in Middleton, so I'm on my way.
Well, hopefully your great car from your friends at Zimbrick doesn't get all dinged up with all this hail. So, Mark, we had a question. The Packers schedule was released yesterday, and I wanted to ask this question a little bit more out of the ordinary. But which game on the Packers schedule has you the most? Which one are you most excited for? We gave a few options: at the Steelers, Lions Week 1. Home Ravens Week 17, or the Commanders in Week 2. Any of those jump out, or did you have a different one that had you the most excited to see the Packers play?
Yeah, I mean, from an excitement level, I don't know how you can't be about the Detroit home game, right, to get going. The Lions are the kings of the North. They have kind of taken hold. So for us to get an opportunity to kind of reset that to start the season with a long build-up to that to me is the most exciting, and it's the next up. Whether or not Aaron Rodgers signs with Pittsburgh or not, I mean, I think that game's intriguing. But I said this morning, you have most of your toughest games, obviously outside of the division because you play both, are at home for this year. So the beginning part of this schedule, I think once you get past that first 2-game stretch, I think Green Bay's schedule sets up really nicely. I mean, the bye stinks, I think, to have it that early. But Detroit, to me, is to open the season is the I guess, the sexiest matchup that I saw.
What do you? I don't know why I said what do you. What is your prediction What is your prediction for the Packers record? Like I think as a show we had them going 10-7. Matt I think has them going 17-0. I'm not sure. Where do you kind of land on this? And I know that you're kind of a homer, and I know that you're probably going to want to say 17-0. But what?
Molly.
Yes.
I am a little bit of a homer. There's no doubt. But you predicted them to go undefeated once.
All right, they were pretty dang close, except for they got the doors blown off of them week 1 against the Saints, and then after that, I believe that they won like 15 or 16 games. Yeah,
pretty good run. So we talked about that this morning on this, and I think so. The only game that I feel like we have, I'm not going to say no chance because of the NFL. There's always a chance to win. I don't like that game at Denver. I just don't like it. I don't like the way it's laid out. It's going to be you get the Bears. That's the one that I think. Outside of that, there's going to be that stretch to finish the season. Those 4 games going to be really difficult. But as a homer, I'm going 12-5 is going to be my pick.
Nice
for what the record's going to look like.
I mean,
Matt had him at 11.
I had him at 11.
He's mentioned 12 too, though.
In our little there were some other ones, but I can't push back on all of them. Otherwise, I'm just going to get buried by Jim for being too much of a homer. I think 12 is realistic, though.
What does Jim got? Jim, what do you got the Bears at this year?
The over-under for them is 8.5 this year. I got them at 8-9 win range, just like I have the Packers at 10. Yeah, I don't think the Bears are. I think Minnesota and Chicago are going to battle it out for maybe a wild card, 3rd, 4th place in the NFC North. Packers and Lions battle it out for the title.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to disrespect the Detroit Lions because they deserve all the credit that they're getting, but I think there's going to be some serious growing pains. I think Green Bay got very fortunate to catch them in that first week with new coordinators and things like that. We'll see how Jared Goff does without a coordinator that Ben Johnson obviously was a wizard. He was able to do a lot of really fun, unique things. So we'll see about that, and that's where I do think it's going to be another competitive division, and I think Green Bay needs to get off. If they can do that 2-0 start, it's going to be tough. Obviously, Detroit and Washington. There's a good runway of games that they should be favored and have, a very good chance to be 7-8-2, something like that, getting into that part. And if that's the case, I think they're going to be sitting in a really good spot to win the division and be in that 12-13 win range.
Yeah, and Mark, when we did the schedule game, we also kind of ran through where they'd be favored. I think we figured they'd probably be favored around probably 12 games. So 12 is not a crazy number. I think I like to do this more on ranges, but I wanted to talk a little bit. I think Mike Greenberg put this out. I know you guys had a lot of talk around the NBA draft lottery earlier this week, and it was a lot of fun. And I think there's a case to be made. And I don't think tanking is an issue yet in the NFL because obviously you have to go out there and the players are never going to tank. The players don't tank in the NBA. The team just builds a bad team or you just don't play players and then you're bad, and that would be what happens in the NFL. But a lottery in the NFL, from a fan and media and eyeballs perspective, that would just crush just about anything out there. People tuning in to every team that missed the playoffs has a chance to get the number 1 pick in the draft. What are your thoughts on a lottery system in the NFL for the teams that don't make the playoffs?
Yeah, I think it's dumb. I don't like it. Part of what the NFL sells is hope, and you're right. There isn't tanking in the respect organizations and front offices can start kind of wielding, we're going to play these young guys. We're not going to play the quarterback. So you're right, but guys aren't tanking, and you see that all the time. I mean, I can think back to the Packers when it was Tony Mandrich. If they don't win that last game, Troy Aikman is the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. And New England this last year, if they don't go in and beat Buffalo, it's actually more tanking by teams that are winning at the end of the year that are resting their players than it is about the draft. So I understand. I don't think it's great for the NBA to have the Mavericks win that and then everybody think that it's rigged. This is more, I think, along the lines of I want the Tennessee Titans, who just had a very bad year and have no hope, to have a first pick in the draft and have that hope with this quarterback. So For as much as I think Adam Schefter kind of floated that idea, it would be fun from a drama standpoint. If we're going to do that, I have a much better plan that the NFL should implement, and it's simply top 8 teams in the league get a bye. The next 16 play in the first round of the playoffs, and the bottom 8 play. The winning team in that bottom 8 bracket ends up going getting the top draft pick. If that's what we want to do and we want to get rid of all the preseason games, add that layer of playoff football, and let's roll.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, I like playing for it.
Yeah. Tausch, what are your thoughts on Elton Jenkins as he kind of is trying to get more of a financial commitment from the Green Bay Packers?
Yeah, I think it's smart by him, and I think from a leverage standpoint, they are putting a lot of their eggs in the basket of moving him. And I think they probably are looking at it and saying, well, let's see how this year goes. My guess is Elton Jenkins isn't going to, and I thought, Balaga was on with us this morning, and we went into it pretty deep. I think if you're Elton, you want to get some security. You're going to end up probably actually having less money than what you would be getting if you played out the 2 years, but you'd have more security with some of the guarantees and saying, we're going to let you grow into being the starting center for the Green Bay Packers, because the Packers are not interested in paying 30, 31-year-old offensive linemen. That's just not what they do. So I think Elton should play this strong. I think they asked him to move. All he's asking for is, hey, I have no guaranteed money left on my deal. Let's figure out a way that we can get the cap lowered for the team, and let's take care of Elton Jenkins, and I don't have a problem with that at all.
So, Tausch, with the whole hullabaloo around the schedule release, obviously in the last couple of years, are you a fan of the teams doing these videos? And if so, who is your favorite?
I thought Tennessee's initially, when they had the fan on the street, was really fun and creative. I think it's gotten worse since then. I think that was the peak of it. And now the problem is you have 32 teams. Everybody's trying to one-up each other with funniness. We got the Colts with Lord knows what they're doing. I'm over it. I don't mind that people are trying it and trying to do some fun stuff. I love that. But all in all, I think it's kind of, I don't want to be old fudder-dudder, but I think I'm kind of over it.
All right.
Talking with Mark Tauscher.
That was some old fudder-dudder. But
what did you guys think of the Packers one? Because I didn't see it. Jason and Jesse both had no clue what the motive or what the, theme of the schedule release was.
You can count me into that group as well.
Yeah, no, I was in that camp too where I was watching and I was like, am I missing something that everybody else understands? Like, I had this moment of like, do I not understand pop culture at all?
Hey, what the hell is going on out there?
There's Mark Murphy, yep.
Based on conversations that I've been having with sources here in the ESPN Madison office, It appears to be that it was all a bunch of callbacks to like Vines, which was basically the original TikTok, I guess. 5-second long videos, I would say. So like,
know your audience.
Yeah, I'm explaining. I'm explaining. Yeah. So yeah, I believe that each of like the little clips that the Packers had in this fever dream were all like callbacks back to those videos that were probably popular during like mine and Ryan's high school years. I don't know. I feel like some of them I didn't even know.
I think we can agree it was a big miss.
Yeah.
But, again, I don't mind you taking shots. You're doing something different. I just at some point I think you need to kind of just know where you're at. The Chargers are good at it. Mm-hmm. There's a couple of teams that are really good at it, and keep shooting for it. Try. Not going to be the end of the world. Eventually, just get us the names, dates, and schedules of what's going on, and I think we'll move along and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
I did have one more comment. You said the only game that you could, if you were going to write in a loss for the Packers, you're saying Packers at Denver, correct?
Yes.
And at no point...
No, this is what I'll say, Matt. I'll just say this. That's the game. Obviously, they can lose in Detroit. They can lose in Chicago. But the game that I'm looking at and saying, I don't like this. I don't like the setup of it. I don't like where it's at in the schedule. That's the game I'm looking at. I'll actually be surprised if they win that game.
Okay.
Whereas all of the other games, I think you can look at and say, is it going to be a shock if Philadelphia comes in and beats us? No. but I'm not going to be surprised if we beat them. It's going to be a big hype game. Denver has that. It's going to be a West Coast game. It's going to be an out-of-conference team. And I think Denver's going to be really good, and that's why I kind of feel that way.
I mean, it sheds into why I like the Bears' chances.
That's funny because I was dunking on Molly earlier,
you were,
saying that this was Looney Tunes, that she had less hope in the Packers winning against the Broncos at Denver than the Packers beating Philly at Lambeau. And I was like,
Molly's smart. That
seems like Looney Tunes to me.
See, it's okay because you're just like my husband. I literally will say anything, but he won't believe it until it comes from somebody else. So
like Kay Adams.
You're the same way.
Like Kay Adams.
Exactly. If Kay Adams says the exact same thing, then he'll believe it.
Like to Mark's point he brought up earlier.
Well, okay, here's the deal. I now completely believe you, Molly, because Mark said it.
Okay. Thank you, Tausch, for being on my side.
Mark did also say earlier the Packers, after they traveled to New York, finished Vikings, Lions, Bears, at Broncos, at Bears, which I like that tighter. It's a shorter window. I know Chicago's not much of a travel, but that's a tough game you have to play. And then you have the Ravens and Vikings. Like, I think the Packers are going to come into that stretch with a good run. That stretch could just beat them up. And it could beat them up by the time they hit the playoffs. They might just be wore out. I mean, could be a murderer's row.
Yeah. Well, and Jim, obviously the bye in Week 5.
Yeah.
You're going to be worn out mentally with that. That is a brutal stretch to finish your season. So, again, it just reiterates the importance of getting off to a fast start, because that is a soft underbelly of a schedule to start. And if you don't take advantage of that, it's going to be long. It's going to be tough sledding. So there's not going to be any let's ease into a season. You have, two big-time playoff teams in your conference, the team that's owned the division the last couple years. You better get off to a flying start, because the finish of that season next year, it's going to be brutal.
Thanks, Mark.
You bet, guys.
Good luck on the call tonight for Mark Tauscher. He is with Jesse Nelson. That is tentatively a 6 o'clock first pitch on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. Mark, brought to you by Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton, Madison's custom and Madison's family-owned jeweler. We're going to throw some stones. If you were waiting for my reaction to the Caleb Williams news today, we're going to do that during Throwing Stones. Next.
What?
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
You're such a tryhard.
I don't know. This is pretty catchy.
It's not.
No, you're literally forcing yourself to like polka right now.
No,
Yeah,
I'm not
absolutely.
forcing myself to like polka. I can't force myself to like anything. And I would drink German beers out of a boot, and
you would drink it till you couldn't hear the polka music anymore.
I guess, yeah. Until I started dancing.
Sounds like a horrible time.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Live the high life and get into the nitty-gritty, home of the award-winning Gritty Burger and Madison's official birthday place. Enjoy a full menu including sandwiches, specialty burgers, wraps, salads, and weekend brunch. With the family-friendly environment, it's a great place to watch the big game. Plus, they've got Miller High Life Power Hour specials daily. Located in downtown Madison, Middleton, and Sun Prairie. The nitty-gritty, a tradition since 1968. Also enjoy high life at Bar Coralini, Paradise Lounge, and Jordan's Big Ten Pub.
Hi, I'm attorney David Gruber. After an accident, you need a trusted winning team on your side. For more than 30 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped Wisconsin families get the results they deserve. If you've been injured, call our firm today for a free consultation. We're available 24/7. Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Need new tires? For a limited time at Zimbrick Honda, you can buy 3 tires and get the 4th for only $1. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Tournament host Steve Stricker joins a star-studded group of PGA Tour champions at the American Family Insurance Championship. Catch the action June 6th through the 8th with an exciting team competition and a new tournament home at TPC, Wisconsin. This year's AmFam Champ concert features Megan Maroney with special guest Clint Black on Friday, June 6th at Breese Stevens Field. All proceeds support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Go be a winner. Winners go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Millions of dollars are won every single weekend at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Go be a winner and go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Molly Brown and Matt Hamilton. We're in the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. Primetime war shine behind the glass. And there was a story today on ESPN. And it was Seth Wickersheim. It was out through his Twitter. ESPN put it out there as well, that basically the headline says in the new book coming up that Caleb Williams did not want to go to Chicago at first. And to give you the Cliff Notes, a lot of quotes from Carl Williams in there about his concern with his son going to Chicago, his son echoing some of those concerns. Carl Williams reaching out to the Bears early on in the process, and the Bears saying, we're taking Caleb. And then as it went along, Caleb got a chance to talk with Kevin O'Connell, said, I love Kevin O'Connell. And then we also have, just to kind of put the full Cliff Notes on it, we do have, and then we'll get to the Stones part of it, but we do have then Caleb going on to say after he visited Chicago, he said that he was all in on the Bears. He did not want to force a trade. He did not want to do that to the city of Chicago and Bears fans in case he wasn't going to get traded. And so he bought in. He had concerns about Eberflus and Waldron going into it. Those concerns were matched because...
fair concerns?
Yes. There was multiple reports, and this came out last year, that Caleb had no guidance on watching film. They just told him to watch film, but they never gave him pointers on how to watch film.
This is what you're looking for.
Yeah, and also maybe watching film with him or putting a vet in that room to watch film with them, so pretty poor coaching. And then he's also quoted about being...
I just imagine him sitting in a theater room by himself.
Could you imagine you're trying to do the right thing?
In the dark.
Yeah, and then it ended with he's incredibly excited about Ben Johnson. So it ends with I think I can understand him not wanting to go. So that's the full range of the story. So let's get to throwing stones.
1, 2, 3,
Some takes are cooler than others.
You know this kid is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Some opinions are just cooler than the rest.
That was cooler than being cool. Ice cold.
And if you keep it chill, then it's a cold take.
Chill out. I'm chill. I'm chill as a cucumber, man.
I'm always the coldest.
This is Throwing Stones, presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's chillest Kia dealership.
So the stone I have to throw is not necessarily at anyone specific, but I did see a great poll with ESPN Chicago. Sylvie put it out with Waddle and Sylvie. He asked the question after reading the ESPN story, who looks the worst out of the whole thing? Last I looked, it was 46% said Shane Waldron and Eberflus. 31% of fans said who cares, and only 9%, and dead last, was Caleb/Carl Williams. So I'll let you guys answer that, and then we'll also hear from Colin Cowherd, because he coincidentally
if they separated those two,
Caleb's lower.
Caleb's like 0, and Dad might be higher than.
I think Caleb's only quoted once or twice in this book. It's
right.
His
that's
dad
what I'm saying.
quoted
His dad's the one that buried him.
Yeah. Good. I mean, look, Dad.
But either way, I'm just gonna be a contrarian. I'm gonna throw a stone at Caleb Williams.
Why?
Stick to your guns, kid. There's plenty of guys in the NFL who have wanted out of a team, including in major markets, that you can get out of them, and you're moving on. People forget. Chicago, they're gonna think about it for like the off season, and then they're gonna get their new quarterback and they're gonna move on. If you really didn't want to go somewhere, and good on Chicago, they wooed him. He changed his tune, wants to be there. That's fine. Plenty of quarterbacks in NFL history have worked their way out of that, not out of the first pick, but getting traded from that team who's going to get the first pick, threatening that we don't want to play for you. Phil Rivers did it. Eli Manning did it.
I know Eli
Manning was.
Well, didn't they flip with Phil Rivers?
I think so. Yeah, I think they traded him straight up after drafting him.
Elway didn't want to go to the Colts.
That's the big one. Yeah.
Like, there's plenty of great quarterbacks today. Your play's going to have to back it up in the future, but all these guys were marked just like Caleb Williams. Blue chip prospect. You're going to be great. You can want out, and people forget about it. No one mentions anything about Elway until situations like this come up again.
So you're saying he should have gone through with being a diva?
If you want to be a diva, and if that's your move, and you don't want to play for a team, stick to your guns. That's my stone.
But then you'd be hating on him if he did that. You'd say, "Oh, you're so weak for doing that." Like,
absolutely, but then it's over at the start of the season.
Also, like
week 1.
The issue I have with it just seemed like rightfully so he was concerned with the Bears' ability to develop a quarterback. And then
which is why I'm saying it's okay for him to not like the
But he
team.
also had an initial thought, and then when he actually met with Poles and the team, his thought changed, and he was all in on turning.
Right, and that's why I'm throwing flowers at the Bears' feet.
But I'm saying like he's allowed, or he just was like, you know what, I want to be the guy that changes it because if I'm the guy that wins, I know.
Stone,
but
obviously.
if he's the guy that wins in Chicago. Like, if he wins in Chicago, he's going to catapult himself to
that the pitch? It's like, hey, I know it's bad, and I know Waldron's not going to coach you up, and Eberflus is terrible, but if you can do something great here in Chicago, you will go down in history.
But I don't think so.
You will be like Al Capone.
I don't think so because
you'd be like the Cubs team that's beloved in Chicago, and it's like every member like Theo Epstein and Joe Madden, they're all going into the Baseball Hall of Fame. It's why the Cubs were able to woo Craig Counsell. You win in Chicago with the Cubs or the Bears or the Bulls, it's elevated than really most sports cities. Now it's hard, but if you do it like that, the ladder is the sell. You win here, you're God. If you're Caleb Williams, there's no QB history. If you win here and you're good, you win one MVP and one Super Bowl, you're going to have 17 statues outside of the new stadium in Arlington Heights.
If you throw 4,000 yards, you're going to have 3 statues outside the new stadium.
Yes, absolutely.
For me, I think that Eberflus and Waldron are both in the wrong here, and I think it makes them look horrible. But then going to that, I believe that then makes the GM look terrible too, because did he know that all this was happening? There's no way he didn't know.
They both were fired mid-season, so I think he was catching wind of this.
Yes, but
Shane Waldron first, and then Eberflus.
But if you're a leader like Ryan Poles is, wouldn't you be probably having conversations with your star quarterback, this guy that you believe is going to be your franchise quarterback, pretty regularly to just check in and say, hey, how's it going? Like, how are you feeling? Everything's going. And maybe Caleb didn't vocalize.
I think he did. That's why they fired him. Like the Bears have never fired a coordinator or a head coach in season.
But did Ryan Poles know that he wasn't being taught how to watch film?
Did probably learned
Did
that.
they know that he was sitting in a room by himself doing it?
I think those were all factors.
Well, then why did it take so long to fire him?
Again, you have a family-owned business that you have to, it's just. I'm not defending it.
I would say it looks bad on all 3 of those guys.
It does, but Poles
brutal.
is the least in that one just because when you've never done it, like the Bears took pride in never firing a coordinator or a head coach in mid-season. I'm not defending
we'll
that.
We'll just go down with the ship.
I get it, but also if you believe in Caleb Williams and he's your guy, you got to do something to protect the guy and to help him grow, which they did.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
It just took way too long.
I don't disagree with it. The reason why Poles gets a pass is that he got the number one coaching prospect over the last 2 years to come to Chicago. If Ben Johnson isn't the coach, everyone feels different in Chicago. Let's hear.
That's true.
So coincidentally, Ben Johnson was on with Colin Cowherd today, and Colin Cowherd floated some of this stuff last year, and he references it.
How do you ensure that when there are bumps in this division, and there are bumps for him, that those fears that are now reported of, oh man, this organization and quarterback, he's had those. That's okay. Some installed by his dad, whatever. How do you ensure during the turbulence of this season, and there will be, your division's too good, there's too many good teams on the schedule, how do you ensure he doesn't lose faith and belief in your system?
Well, you talk about fears, and I don't see it quite the same way. I see this as what a great opportunity we have to do something that really has never been done. There hasn't been a 4,000-yard passer here in this franchise, and I think Caleb's going to be the first one, and one of many years, many seasons to come where he's able to accomplish that feat. So I see a chance for greatness here for him. He's been communicated that way, and he feels the same way. I don't know what's gone on prior to him joining the organization, but he is very proud to be a Chicago Bear. That's what our conversations have included, and he's really excited to get to work right now and be the best version of himself for 2025. There's no question we're going to face adversity. Both he will, he's not going to. We want to see growth from here to here over the course of the season. And it's not going to be linear growth. It's going to be a little bit of ups and downs and stair steps along the way. But we want to see from game 1 to game 17 that we're getting better as a whole. And that's not just him. That's us as a team as well. So I'm excited. That's what makes coaching fun, is when the hiccups occur, when the adversity strikes, how do we respond to it? That's when you find out who you are as a man.
I wish we could juxtapose that to Eberflus, because, again, that's just a well-thought-out answer. Does it mean anything? I don't know, but I just like that he had an answer to a difficult question. He gave a long answer into it, and he spun it in a way of, like, this is a challenge and we're excited for it, as opposed to Eberflus would probably literally pee down his legs. So.
Maybe a good leader, right?
Yeah.
Does that sound like a good leader?
A better leader, for sure.
Sounds like a positive leader.
Again,
Positive,
war.
yes.
If the Bears' offense and the Bears' coaching staff is league average, the Bears are an 8-win team.
I was very disappointed he never referenced EPA throughout his entire answer. I mean, that's not the Ben Johnson way.
He is a big EPA guy.
I mean, come on. He's a bigger nerd than that. He should have showed his nerd flag there.
Yeah, you're a big EPA guy, and Matt is a big Odyssey guy.
Yes, that's right. I love May, because that means I'm pulling the grill out. Maybe not today. Weather doesn't seem ideal, but summertime, get that grill out. It's grilling season, and when I'm thinking grilling, I'm thinking marinated chicken skewers, baby. I use that delicious Odyssey Greek yogurt as the base for my marinade for these chicken skewers, and I tell you what, you cannot go wrong. The yogurt tenderizes the chicken, adds a tangy little kick. The best part about Odyssey, though, including their feta, the Greek yogurt, and all the delicious dips, it's made in Wisconsin. It uses locally sourced milk, and it's crafted by a family-owned company with 4 generations of experience. So if you want that delicious Greek style flavor from Odyssey that they can bring to you, go check them out wherever you get groceries. They're nationwide, baby, so don't worry about not being able to find them, and check out Odyssey.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Like, winning teams could talk trash.
Yeah, but
Giannis talks trash.
Maybe we're not good enough to be talking trash.
Or maybe it's not your personality.
It's not tight. I'm not tight.
Yeah, I'm not tight either.
I'm not tight at all. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
It's not tight. I'm
Who's
not tight.
Ben Johnson?
I'm so loose right now.
We don't know. I don't know who he is. I have no idea what he is.
I'm not tight.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited. Siding Unlimited is the proven exteriors professionals for 31 years. Family owned and locally operated right here in Wisconsin. National and local awards proving Siding Unlimited will deliver peace of mind. Looking for inspiration to replace your windows, roofing, siding, and doors? Stop by our amazing showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road in Madison. And definitely check out sidingunlimited.com. We are Siding Unlimited.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape. Throughout your family's financial planning journey, we will serve as a partner, advocate, and steward in all aspects to help you achieve your goals with confidence. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Hey, Matt Hamilton here to tell you about the delicious Odyssey Brands, a family-owned company crafting award-winning cheese right here in Wisconsin for over 4 generations. Made with locally sourced milk, Odyssey brings bold, Greek-style flavors straight to your table. From savory, crumbly feta to rich and creamy Greek yogurt, every bite is a taste of tradition and quality. You can find Odyssey products at most major retailers nationwide and online. Odyssey, crafted in Wisconsin, loved everywhere, dairy done right.
Cheesy Bites Pizza is back at Pizza Hut. For only $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. Plus, it comes with Pizza Hut's very own Ranch Lovers Flight, featuring 3 bold dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Ready to dip into deliciousness? Well, hurry. It's only available for a limited time. Head to a Pizza Hut location or order online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This station has conducted a test of the emergency alert system.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit condonjeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
He's coming up, 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 he's coming up. It's there.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. Download the brand new ESPN Wisconsin app wherever you get your apps on the Android or Apple App Store today. That is the brand new ESPN Wisconsin app.
Molly, you had some YouTube comments.
I do have some YouTube comments. Jonathan says, looking at the teams the Packers play this year, he could see them going 12-5. And then Marcus says, hey, Matt, broom emoji, free of charge. Here you go. Should help when the Lions sweep you again.
Boo! And Stin the Badger Equipment alum chimed in on the Car Was Talking text line. Just trying to stir the pot. Glad that Caleb didn't go full diva. Look, I'll tell you, like, the worst thing about this, the Justin Fields stands are back in Chicago.
Oh, man.
We'll be back at it tomorrow. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
See ya.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in